Hey guys, I'm Alana from Win Win, and as you know, I love talking to people who have interesting jobs in the mining industry to give you more options of jobs that exist out there and potentially that you can go do. Today, I have got Jamie Davey with me, who is a tyre fitter. Jamie, welcome, and thanks for coming on to have a chat about your job.
No worries, Lana. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. So, talk to me. You're a tyre fitter. How did you get into this job?
I actually started tyre fitting over in New Zealand. I was working for Bridgestone over there, just in the stores, and then decided to jump out into the floor, which the supervisor warned me not to do. But just from there, and then when I moved back to Perth, I finished off. I just had to do some computer work for my certs, and then went from there, and it was easy enough to get onto the mines having the certs. So yeah.
Yeah. And how long did the tyre fitting traineeship initially take you to get those certs?
It doesn't take that long. It really takes, it comes down to experience, really. Then they get sort of someone to come out and test you
Mm-hmm.
on how you fit tires, stripping fit tires, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got to do some stuff online, um, basically just questions and stuff like that. Depends on how far you want to go because I didn't go the full way to get up to the big OTR dump truck tires. But yeah, it's just basically a theory and a practical. I have seen courses around that go for about 3 days. That
Wow.
includes, that includes the OTR stuff. It's about $1,500 for people that do want to get into it. There are around in Perth.
Yeah, cool. And somebody was telling me it's 2 years. I was like, way. I've never seen one for 2 years. So it could be a great opportunity to get in. And so how long ultimately have you been working in the mining industry for now?
Um, I've been on and off probably about 5 or 6 years. I've done a couple of different jobs in the mines. Primarily, I've been doing tires, but I started off in the mines doing store works for Downer back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. And how many mine sites would you say you've been to?
well, that's a good question. Probably around half a dozen or so.
Yeah, awesome. And like when you first got your first mining job, how would you rate it? Was it hard to get or yeah?
Um, so when I first got my mining job, it was around about 2010. It was sort of who you knew back then. It wasn't so much as applying these days. It was who you knew to get into the industry. That was very hard back then. So
Mhm.
um, I was sort of able to weasel my way in, and from there it was just once you get your foot in, it's pretty easy to get back in it.
Hell yeah, you're set for life. That the getting your foot in the door is the hardest part, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, cool. Well, thank you. What roster do you currently work?
Excuse me. I do a 2 and 2 roster. I'm on a FMG side at the moment. It's Ella site, but it's a new part of it. And yeah, we're on a 2 and 2 roster with the haulage trucks.
Nice. Two and two is the best roster. Don't you agree?
It's good. Mrs. reckons that I get a bit anxious when I'm at home for the 2 weeks, so it'd probably be better if I went on to 8 and 6. But I like the 2 and 2 roster for me with the family. Just
Yeah.
so much better.
It is the ultimate retirement roster, and I'm sure you get home and she's got a whole list of stuff for you to do, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, that's a go. Right. So to get the job that you're in now, the tyre fitting role, what exact licenses and qualifications, besides obviously the tyre fitting cert, did you need to get that job?
Um, for my position itself, it's basically the Cert 2 in tie fitting. So that's haulage, heavy haulage trucks, road trains, all that sort of stuff. And also your manual car license, your forklift license, any sort of little licenses like that, little tickets.
Yeah.
That helps a lot, but you don't need. It would help to have a HR license, but most sites these days you can sort of drive a HR truck with a C-class license. So
Out and thank you for reiterating that. That's one of my pet peeves, people going out there getting every ticket under the sun for no reason. It's like you don't need that. So yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Thank God somebody else said it. And tell me, Jamie, right? From the moment that you wake up in the morning to the moment that you put your head on the pillow, what does your day look like? And if you could go into details, that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I try to wake up around about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. I get up, get dressed. Our mess opens at about quarter to 4. So I go down there, go into the lunch area, get in my crib, um, pack it away, go have breakfast. And the breakfast says on every mine site's pretty good. You know, you get your bacon, eggs all different ways. You know, your baked beans and all that sort of stuff. And then they usually have a hot meat, whether it be sausages or something else. Um, and then yeah, basically have that or a cereal or whatever you want. I head off to the bus. I'm usually one of the first people back at the bus,
Yeah.
and we leave our camp at about quarter to 5, 20 to 5. Takes us about 25 minutes to get out to site. So yeah, by the time we get out to site, quick handover with the guys. Do our pre-start meeting. Um, because we're all contractors, there's 2 mechanical fitters, 2 tire fitters per crew, and there's an FMG supervisor. We do a pre-start with her, and
What about
then
your stretches?
sorry,
What about your stretches? Do you do those?
no, no, we don't have to do that here. So
Really? Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Lucky.
we're kind of lucky. Yeah, exactly, very lucky.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we just we get our jobs for the day. So if there's anything that's handed over through our tie fitter guys, for example, retorques, um, maybe there's a truck down in the yard that has mechanical problems, we'll go through and inspect all the tires, pressure checks, same when they come in for a service. At the moment, because our site's not overly busy at the moment, it's a lot of just checks and stuff like that. And then we're trying to, because I've only been up there 3, 4 swings now. We're still getting a lot of the stuff out of the way to be inductions and stuff like that. Just little things like pit permits and all that sort of stuff, which is can be very boring and annoying. But yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You try and get it done as quick as you can, but you know, work gets in the way, and you've got to go do a job, get pulled away from going out to sit a class, and yeah.
Yeah. And induction overload. Am I right? Like, how many days
Oh yeah.
inductions did you have to do?
Oh yeah. It's so we had to do online inductions for FMG. Then we had to do a course in Perth at the FMG headquarters, and then get up to site, and you've got to do site specific inductions as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very overwhelming. A lot of you get up early and then you're sitting in the classroom for hours. So yeah, you can get very
But
tired very quickly.
yeah, but it's good. And like, FMG is one of the companies that without a doubt has such a fantastic safety record. So like obviously it
Yeah,
goes to show what they're doing is working. So I think that's great.
yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, so with the rest of the day, it's just basically because we don't really have a set lunchtime or smoke our time at the moment. Um, yeah, just go through the day whenever we get a chance to have a feed. And then yeah, we finish up about start packing everything up about 4 o'clock, quarter past 4, and then do a debrief with our shift supervisor. When the boys get in about 5 o'clock, we do a handover with them. All our paperwork is done in that between 4 and 5 o'clock. Let the other guys know if there's any retalks or anything else, any tides that need to be stripped and fitted, whatever it is. Yeah, it's just a matter of that, and then yeah, get back to camp. And it's another 25 minute back to camp. I go back to my room, have a quick shower, race down, have dinner. Um, if I'm not really hungry, I'll go to the gym. Most gyms on sites are free. Sometimes you do have to pay. I've been at sites where you had to pay a $20 bond for the key. Yeah, it just depends. But yeah, this one up at Elawana is free, so
Great.
Usually got to do.
What are the facilities like up there? Because usually at most camps that I've been to, you've got outdoor gyms, you've got swimming pools, all that sort of stuff. Is it pretty, up to date?
Yeah, it is. This one is pretty good. They've got a nice cafe area where they actually do proper coffees in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, the mess area is really big. The wet mess is they don't really have a wet mess. It's just a bit of a sea container with few fridges of alcohol, which is good for me. I don't drink on site,
Yeah.
and you're limited to 4 drinks per person.
That's called mid strengths, or do they have full
Yeah,
strength there? Oh yeah.
no, all mid strengths. Yeah, and then they've got like a outdoor sort of takeaway dinner place as well that you can get burgers or whatever they've got on for the night, and you can take it back to your room to eat.
Ooh,
The gym's pretty good. It's got an indoor cricket or soccer pitch in there as well. They've got pools, an oval, basketball courts, all that sort of stuff. They've even got a recreation area where they've got ping pong tables and ball tables and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and
awesome.
then with Elawana and that, or FMG at Elawana, they've had bands that come up and they play there usually on a shift change night, which is a Monday. Monday night they have some bands there, and yeah, it's pretty cool and stuff like that. And they've also got a golf professional that comes up, and you can book in with him, and
Wow.
yeah, and do some
That's cool.
have some tutoring by the golf professional. So yeah,
Oh, nice. It's amazing what they have up on some of these sites. Hey, it's like this is like a five-star resort people would come to pay money to be at. So it's like it's a
absolutely,
yeah, so lucky, like for the people who get to be out there, I think. So
yeah.
awesome. And tell me about the physical aspects of your job. Like, is it a pretty tough job? Do you have to have a reasonable level of fitness?
Um, yes and no. Like with doing what we're doing at the moment, um, because our workshop isn't set up, we have to do strip and fit tires with the levers,
Oh,
which can be very physical. It's basically the rims and the tires together are probably around about 80 kilos to 100 kilos that you got to lift. Um, I mean, it'll if someone gets into tire fitting, it comes down to technique, and they'll learn that. And how to maneuver tires, all that sort of stuff. It comes down to technique. Someone that doesn't know how to lift tires and stuff like that, they try to move them, and it's quite funny from a tire fitter's perspective.
yeah,
Um, but it can be physical. You're getting in the dirt. We have to go down to breakdowns in the middle of the pit, change out a tire. So you're rolling around 80 to 100 kilo tire. Got to get underneath the truck to jack it up. Obviously all the isolation processes and stuff as well.
yeah.
Paperwork. So yeah, it's a bit of a monotonous sort of thing, but yeah, the physicality isn't so bad. It's not as bad as the mechanics that are having to get under the trucks and jump over the engines and all that sort of stuff to undo bolts. And, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And would you say this would be a job? Like, have you seen many females do this job, or what do you think the complexity would be for a female doing this job?
I personally haven't seen many females doing it. I did see on TikTok the other day there was a young lady who was with Midres, um, and she was doing the big dump truck stuff. She's out of the mining industry now, but she constantly gets job offers to go back onto the mining with the doing tire fitting. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, there's a fair few people I've talked to that have had female co-workers, um, and it's like, I think when it comes down to the women getting into the industry, it's whether they want to do it.
Yeah.
If they're willing to put in the hard work, and I guess, and I probably still sucks that it happens, but cop a bit of the shit from the guys.
Mm.
You're going to get that anywhere, but being a tie fitter or in a mechanic sort of range, you're going to get it a bit more maybe. It really depends on how thick your skin is. And I think if they've got thick skin and they can give it back as much as they get it, then they'll be sweet to get in there.
Yeah, and I don't think that the chicks with the fake nails and stuff like that and big eyelashes, not that I can talk, would probably go after those jobs anyway. It'd be more the tomboy sort of a chick who is
Yeah,
quite fit, like has a good level of physical fitness and mechanically minded, who would probably
yeah,
gravitate to that sort of job, I could imagine.
yeah. Definitely the mechanical minded side of things is the ones that want to get into, whether it's tie fitting and they want to start there to get to the mechanics. That's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think? What are the main perks of that job from your perspective?
Of tie fitting, ooh, um, it's just getting to know um, the tires and how they work on your road. So then when you can apply it to your own car and stuff like that. Yeah, working on the mines with the tires obviously is a bit different because it's a different aspect altogether. You're not working with tires that are on the tarmac all the time. So, um, but it makes you think. It does make you think. Why are the tires doing this? Why are they doing that? How do
Yeah.
we fix this? And yeah, it
Cool.
does have its good points.
Yeah. And what about the bad points?
Um, the bad points are when, yeah, I guess when you get drivers that are not taking care of their machines, and you
Yeah.
go out there and you have to change 10 tires at once. That's the pain in the butt part about it is that you get these guys that don't take care of because it's not their machine to run, so they just
Yeah.
don't take care of it and just destroy it and run over things and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I could imagine. I've worked on some sites where the guy was like, I had a certain truck came back from R&R and he's like breaking things and so frustrating. Yeah, people
Yeah.
just don't give a shit sometimes. So yeah, 100%. Tell me, what about the mining industry, like in general? Like, what are the biggest challenges that you see for, like, let's say new starters, especially into a tie fitting role? Yeah, or just in general.
So I've talked to a few people about this. I've been at a couple of sites where I've had a lot of new people that have never done mining, and I sort of gave them advice and just had a chat with them. And it, you got to really figure out if it is for you. Um, if your partner, whether male or female, your partner at home can withstand you being away and can deal with the kids, the bills, and all that sort of stuff, handling all that sort of stuff at home and ring you at the end of the day and go, "How was your day, baby?" Da da da. And be that supportive person to you.
Yeah.
You're going to be, if you have that behind you, you are going to be fine. You know, I think that's what a lot of people struggle with is that their partners sit at home and they're like, "Oh, I'm struggling with the kids. I'm a 3 hour flight away, 2 hour flight away, 16 hour car drive away. I can't get home that quick. I
Yeah.
can't help." And that's where you got to struggle and go, well, the people that do have the families and young kids at home, you sort of got to get that mindset of I can't help you, so I don't care. There's not much I can do.
Yeah, it's hard, eh? And
Yeah,
that's why, thank you for being so honest with that. You see so much stuff on like TikTok and social media, like, oh, I'm out here earning like 5 grand a week, blah, blah, blah. But nobody talks about the fact that you're lonely or your partner's lonely and there's mental health issues. And there
yeah,
are so many negatives to going out there that, yeah, people do need to realize it is not an industry that is easy. You're, working away from long periods of time. It's hot. So tell us what else, Jamie. Give us some more downsides of the mining industry that you've seen since you've been doing this for quite a while now.
yeah. It's a lot to do with the people that you're working with. I guess it comes across with every industry. It doesn't matter if it's FIFO or not. You're going to get dickheads. Um, and
Yeah,
like for me, it's rising above them, not letting them get to you. If you've got a if you know personally that you don't have that strong will and care factor, and where someone like that's going to get to you and it's going to eat at you all day, and you're going to arc up, and then some sites have got a wet mess there where they sell full strength beer, and if you get on the alcohol, you're going to be kicked off site, and you're going to get blacklisted from the mines. So it's dealing with those sort of people, dealing with the negativity, dealing with you know things not happening straight away. Whereas, in Perth, if you're working in Perth, oh, we need this tool. Oh, yeah, zip around the corner and go get it. It doesn't happen up on site. So you have to order and wait for the process. And then, you're working at a tyre shop in Perth and truck comes in, change tyres, get it out, off it goes, next truck's in. That's not the case for this. You got to do paperwork, you got to do your take fires, your JHAs, all that sort of stuff. It's not a quick process. Dealing with that sort of stuff, and then I guess also probably the high expectations, unreasonable expectations of some superintendents or supervisors that don't see what you do. They sit in an office and expect you to be able to, change 20 tires in 10 minutes. It's like, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that puts pressure on you. And like I said, it comes down to your mindset. If you have the right mindset to do this sort of stuff, dealing with family, dealing with the idiots on site, dealing with the supervisors, dealing with the slow process of doing a job, a 10-minute job that takes you 2 hours to complete all the paperwork.
Yeah.
You will be fine if you've got that good mindset of, and I tell people this all the time. I'm not at work for anyone else. I'm at work for my family. So I couldn't give a shit about anyone else's process, their thoughts, or anything like that. I'll do my job to the best of my ability to keep me from getting fired. I don't care what happens to anyone else because I'm there for my family to provide for them, and that's it.
Yeah. Get in there, make the money, and then get the hell out. That
Yeah.
was always my motto, even though I ended up in there for 17 years. But that's okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of money, in a tie fitting role, give us a realistic expectation of the finances for it. So how much do you earn, basically? That's what I'm asking. But obviously you
Yeah.
don't need to tell me the exact amount. Give me a ballpark if you like.
No, that's okay. So I'm what they call LV, light vehicle fitter. So I'm not the OTR fitter. The OTR fitters, I guess it depends on the company that you're working for, depending on the roster as well. There are some companies that are earning, some OTR guys that are earning up to about 200 grand on a 2-in-1, maybe a 3-in-1 roster. LV fitters like myself, I'm on a 2-in-2 roster at the moment, and I'm on about 135 a year.
That's really good.
So yeah, it's really good. I've had another job where I was on another site. I was working 5-2, 4-3, and I was only on about 90K a year.
Well, for the same job?
Yep.
Oh, wow. So it does vary
Yeah,
quite significantly.
it does. But then you get 8 and 6 rosters, and the guys are working on an OTR 180, 160 to 180 grand a year. Some of the trainees go up, they start off at about 140 doing the OTR stuff. They start off about 140. Some companies offer site allowances and all that sort of stuff, whereas some companies have already put it into your package as well.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for going into details with that one.
No, that's all right.
Kelly, one of the perks I think to this job is everyone comes to us and they're like, I want a dump truck traineeship. And it's like, have you thought about the fact that they're trying to go autonomous with like a lot of sites? So I think that this is a great opportunity because it's going to be hard for them to go autonomous on this specific job. Am I right with that one?
Yeah, so our guys, our company FMG is going autonomous. They're trying to do it in the next 2 years, I think, a year to 2 years. With tie fitting, until they invent flying cars, flying trucks, and flying everything, everyone's going to need tires. Everything's going to need tires. So yeah, tie fitters are going to be I guess one of those underrated trades or qualifications that no one really thinks about. But then when the tires go bust, everyone's like, "Oh crap, we need a tie fitter."
Yeah. So who would this job be perfect for, do you think?
I reckon if you're going for a traineeship, it would be perfect for someone, a young kid, 18-year-old. It's got their license, all that sort of stuff. Go seek out a traineeship with the companies like Ochico, Minres. There's a few other companies that are starting to get into it. There's a couple of places around that do training courses. Like I said, 3-day training course at $1,500.
Yeah.
A young kid like that, it's if you go get that cert, um, it's easier for you to get into the mining industry that way.
Mhm.
Therefore, if you want to go be a dump truck driver, you're already on site. You can start
Yeah.
talking to the guys. You can start
Mhm.
talking to the supervisors and whoever else it is. It makes it so much easier for you to access all the other jobs that are around. If you want to become a mechanic, you're already starting at the bottom on the mechanic side of things.
Yeah.
You're working with mechanics or right next to them. You start talking to them. That's how you get further up the chain in that sense.
Yeah. Perfect. And what would you say, like, are the downsides to this job, specifically as a type fitter?
Um, I just it depends on your mindset. Like I said before, for me, I don't see a downside to it.
Hmm.
It's like any mindset though. It's the hot flies, you're away from your family, all that sort of stuff. But um, it comes down to your mindset. So if you think of your job as in a negative way, you're going to have a shit time on any site. So whether you're
Yeah.
a tire fitter or a truck driver or whatever it is, I'm not saying that tire fitting is glamorous because it's not. It's dirty work.
Hmm.
It's monotonous work, but um, it's a job that pays me well. So I can't speak, but too badly about it for me, from my point of view.
Yeah. And so what are your plans? Do you plan to stay in a type fitting role or move into a different role? Actually,
Um,
don't answer that. It's going to get you in trouble.
no, no. I don't know specifically at the moment. In the last couple of years, I've had a bit of trouble with family situation at home, so I've had to leave jobs and stuff like that. So, um, but I always want to move up. I always want to go be an operator and all that sort of stuff. So, for me to get on the diggers or the graders or the dumpies and whatever else, it's something that I want to do. I want to be able to operate all the machines.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, it's like just making those connections at the moment. Like I've been unemployed before I started working here. I was unemployed for about 9 months, and then I was working at a place before that where I was there for almost a year, and I was starting to get into the um, you know learning how to drive this and do that, and I had to leave due to family reasons. So um, I sort of had to start again, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out and hopefully go from there.
Yeah. And what do you think the opportunities to move within your current role into that within the same company would be?
Um, Very, very slim to none at the
Oh,
moment. Unless because we're contractors to F&G, it's very hard because F&G, do their own recruiting and all that sort of stuff. And we're part of a new part of the mine. It's a whole new program for FMG. Unless FMG take us over and offer us guys shirts, that's the only way for us to be able to move out of that department into another one.
yeah. Right. Okay. No worries. And Jamie, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. Look, sorry about that.
That's
I
all right.
really appreciate your time today. Tell me, what is your number one tip that you would give to any person who's contemplating coming into your or considering getting a job, especially as a time fitter, but in the mining industry, just overall?
Make sure you have the right mindset and the right backing behind you, because if you don't have the right people behind you supporting you, and you don't have the right mindset of what you're there for, whether you've got an exit plan, 5-year exit plan, 2-year exit plan, whatever it is, or even if you want to make a career out of it. If you don't have the right mindset for it and the right support behind you, your life's going to be hell.
Yeah, good tip. And employers, this is Jamie. This is your next operator. Feel free to get in contact with me so you can get in contact with him. He's about to have the most kick-ass resume in the history of the world. Jamie, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today and for you to, tell the audience about what your job consists of. Any final words?
No, anyone that wants to get into tie fitting, it's a great way to start. A lot of people try to get into the dump trucks, but tie fitting there's so many people going for the dump truck jobs. So tire fitting, there's not as many. Go get your certs, go get some training, and go get on the mines.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jamie. Really appreciate your time and awesome advice for new people wanting to get in, especially to a tire fitter role. So thank you so much. I'm Alana from Win-Win. If you want to come and have a chat with us about your job, we'd love to do that. Or get in contact with us if you need help to get your first or next FIFO job. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.